Are you much of a poker player?
A little bit.
So you understand the rules of the game?
Yep.
We're going to play a few rounds of poker, 3 rounds to be exact. And I do apologize at the top. You will lose all 3 rounds. I say that because I don't want you to get your hopes up, but I'm really good at this game. That said, you get to make all the decisions. And by decisions, I mean this is not a normal game of poker. We're going to just play with the bare minimum of cards, about 10. And you do get to make every single decision. You get to choose every card for your hand. You get to choose every card for my hand. But I get to choose the cards you choose from.
Okay.
So we're going to play with the cards I feel are the psychologically most potent cards in the pack. That would be these. These are all the picture cards, the aces, the jacks, the queens, the kings. This will also be of interest in a moment. And I want you to see that you are the only one who can read this at the end. It has your name there at the top. Sort of like a movie script, you'll be reading that out. So only you can play. This was designed specifically for you. In fact, I'm going to let you see the 10 cards we're going to play with, just so you can see that maybe the ace of spades, the king of spades is a great card. The queen of spades is also sort of a great card. Well, it's a really good card. Maybe a jack, maybe another king, maybe another ace. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Wait, what do I need? 4 more cards? 4 more cards. So these are the 10 cards we're going to play this game with. I'm going to show you 2 cards like this. Whichever card you want, that's going to go into your hand. Whatever card you don't want will go into mine. So the question is this. Most people go for the ace of spades. Which one do you want?
I'm going to go for that ace of spades.
Yeah, so, and you're totally being comfortable being most people. And it is the better card, so why not?
Right.
Yeah, take it, and I get the king. I get whatever you don't take.
Got it.
Here's the next 2. Which one would you like?
I want the spade.
You want the queen of spades?
Mm-hmm.
You sure? Because
Yes.
you could just as easily have the jack.
I know.
It's a classic technique, by the way. I show you something, I pull it slightly away, it makes you want it more.
Yeah.
You're totally comfortable with that?
I want the queen of spades.
Take it, that's
Sure.
great. Here's the next 2. Ooh, now this is an interesting choice. Because you could go for the ace, giving yourself that pair of aces.
Right.
But the problem is you're giving me a pair of kings. Technically, you are still winning. You've got a pair of aces, I have a pair of kings, but you're giving me something to work with. Or you could take the king, give me the ace, and go for the block, and you'd be winning with high card. And I will be honest, you will not win with high card in this game. What would you like to do?
I want the ace.
You want the pair of aces?
Yes.
So you're comfortable giving me something to work with? Because you are giving me a pair of kings. I just want you to know what you're giving me.
Yeah, but aces over kings will win, right?
We got a few more cards to go.
Okay.
But you're okay with this?
Yes.
All right, here's the next 2.
Okay, well, I'll go for the 3 of a kind.
Of course you would. And why wouldn't you give yourself a good hand? And the last 2 of 10, which one would you like?
Do I get to remind myself what cards I have?
Yeah, you're welcome to look. Absolutely. I'm surprised you hadn't so far.
Neither of these does a whole lot for me, but I'll go for the high card.
You go for the king. So you're taking a king away from me, which I think is a fairly wise decision. So what'd you end up with?
Okay, so I have 3 of a kind.
3 of a kind. 3 aces, if I remember correctly, which is an impeccably good hand. For a game of poker, 3 of a kind, especially 3 aces, is extremely rare. Unfortunately, the 3 jacks you gave me is not enough to beat those 3 aces. So I'm really happy you gave me that pair of kings, otherwise I would have lost the game. That's round 1. Now you know why you lost, right?
I think maybe.
Well, you lost because you were playing the cards. You weren't playing the guy sitting across from you at the table. So I'll tell you what, round 2?
Okay.
Round 2, fresh new set of cards. I won't distract you with any of the shiny special cards of the pack. We'll just pull out some generically dull cards here. 8s, 9s, 10s, 6s. There's a 6 there, why not? Right, new set of cards, new game. Actually, I'll tell you what, we'll eliminate just a few of those. So there's only 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Only 10 cards. And I get to let you choose. Not just my hand, but by process, not just your hand rather, but by the process of elimination. my hand. Take one for yourself. Just like that. And I'll take one for me. Take one for yourself. See how we're choosing? One for me, one for you. Please. Please. 4. I got 4. Which one do you want for you? Good. What'd you end up with? What'd you end up with? I don't know how to be any more fair than that, because you didn't play the person, you didn't play the cards, you played the person this time.
All right, so I've got just a pair of 9s.
Not as well as the first time. A pair of 9s, still a pretty good hand. Unfortunately, my pair of 8s don't beat your pair of 9s, but the pair of 10s in addition does. Now you know why you lost this round. You're playing completely blind. And I still had control over the game. So shall we play a third round? I'll give you all the control this time. In fact, we'll just use generic as can possibly be. There's another 8 in there for some reason. And these are the 5s, the 6s, the 7s, but we don't need all of these obviously. So let me hand pick just a few. Maybe the 6s, maybe the 5s. Just a few there. I like these. That's a good 10 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 cards. And just so I can't be positionally aware where anything is. And just so you can keep me honest, cut about a third of the pack right there. Give it one of these fancy cuts. Cut about a third right there. And we'll just stack them up. That way you've mixed them, I've mixed them. You get one more choice. Do you want to deal, or do you trust me to deal?
I'll deal.
Of course you do. You want to cut it one more time before you deal, or leave them in the state that they're in?
I'm going to cut them once.
Sure, please do. And deal 2 hands of cards. Just like you would in a normal card game. I don't know how to be any more fair than that. Now, if I were to bet on this round, I'd be a fool. Because you didn't make any decisions. This is just chance. And I don't gamble. At least I don't make a bet on something that I know I could possibly lose. So I'd be an idiot to bet against this. So this last round is not about this. It's about what that says on the other side of it. It could say you win the last round. It could say you lose the last round. If you can make that wrong, you can have all the money in my wallet. At the moment it's around 350 bucks. Not much, but enough to go on to go see a movie or something at the theater. But you didn't make any decisions, so that's not really a fair game. So I'll tell you what, you can either play with what you have, or you can swap hands with me. Now before you make that decision, have a look at what you got.
Okay.
Do you want to keep it, or do you want to trade with me?
I would like to trade.
You sure?
Yes.
Remember, it's not about winning or losing. I mean, I have no idea what you have, but it's not about winning or losing the hand. It's about making this wrong.
Ugh.
So maybe I want you to win the last round. Maybe I want you to choose to lose the last round. That's up to you to decide.
Okay, just for fun, I'll swap.
You'll swap?
Yeah.
All right. I mean, I know what you're getting. I don't know what you're giving me. You're giving me bumpkins. You're giving me, what is this, a pair of 6s.
Yeah.
You've given me nothing. You've given me a pair of 6s.
Right.
A measly pair of 6s.
Right.
And of course you got...
Pair of 5s, which unfortunately does not beat your pair of 6s if it were not for the additional pair of
I see what you did there. Now you're happy with this decision. You don't want to swap back.
I don't think so.
Because you get this last chance to do so. You don't have to. You can stick with your decision. It's a good decision. You should stick with it. You have 5 seconds.
Okay.
Sticking with it?
Sticking with it.
You like winning the last round?
I do.
Now, I did tell you at the top, we'd play 3 rounds and you would lose all 3 rounds. So it's only obvious because you lost the first 2 rounds of this game that you would choose to win the last round because you felt so defeated. But this wasn't about winning the hand. I told you that repeatedly, and yet you still chose to do it that way. It was about whatever this says on the other side of the card. Remember, this was like a movie script. I told you at the top. I said you were the only one who could read that. I told you that at the top. This has been sitting here the whole time. You shuffled, you mixed the cards, you cut the cards, you dealt the cards, you chose to swap. Can you read that out loud?
I will win with 7s over 5s.
That looks about right.
George will, of course, lose with a measly pair of 6s. Congrats.
I believe you should be congratulating me for winning the game. So thank you very much for letting me keep my movie money.